Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored Never Boring. Everybody knows I love HeroQuest. I'm a big fan of Hasbro's new edition, but I have a great love of the original game from 1989. It's a game that opened a door to a wider world of hobby gaming and sent me plummeting headfirst into the open arms of Games Workshop. Receiving the game as a gift on Christmas morning 1989 is a core memory, and I will never forget the first time I played it on the living room floor with my brother and cousin. But that doesn't mean HeroQuest isn't a bit silly, and that's what I'm talking about today. We're going to look at some of the oddities in the English language European versions of the game from 1989 and 1990. Some of these are long gone, some of them have carried over to the new edition of the game from Hasbro, but in all cases, these are the little details that always raise a smile. Number 1. The Face of Evil. I've actually done a whole video on this subject, so I'll keep it brief. Some people will never believe this, despite the evidence, but that there on the Dungeon Master's screen, that's not Morcar, or Zargon if you prefer. That's actually Mentor, the wizard who leads the heroes on their adventures. He's holding the magical book Lore Tome, and he's scrying the dungeon to reveal the massed forces of Morcar awaiting the adventurers. I am sure Morcar looks fairer, but feels fouler. Number 2. Say Cheese. The original character sheets are a bit weird. How cute is it that before they set out on their adventures, all the heroes pose for photographs in Mentor's study in front of the old man's framed portrait. Furthermore, Mentor talks to them all like cosplayers trying to get into character for a photo shoot. "You are the elf, a master of both magic and the sword. So give me some sizzle, vogue for me, the camera loves you baby." Number 3. Sneaky product placement. Hey, hold on. I recognise that dwarf. The dark complexion, the white beard, the neutral yet imposing stance. I've seen that before. That's right, it's the old white dwarf logo. Those cheeky chappies at Games Workshop never miss a trick. Does this count as subliminal advertising? Number 4. Where's my holy hand grenade? It's an oldie, but you can't poke fun at HeroQuest without mentioning the evil shield symbol on the combat dice. Or should I say, the killer bunny symbol. I'll be honest, I never thought it looked that much like a bunny, but that's an unpopular opinion. Number 5. Brawn over brain. HeroQuest is so simple it gives the characters only 5 stats, and then one of them isn't even used in the core game. The little note in the rules to clarify that mind points aren't used always makes me chuckle. HeroQuest, the game where you don't have to use your mind. Number 6. Empty titles. In the original 1989 edition of the game, you could become a champion. This happened once you completed 3 quests. You gained the right to be named champion and received 500 gold coins. By 1990, when the revised edition of the game came out, the Emperor had obviously fallen on hard times because while you could still become a champion, there was no hint of a cash bonus. Oh, and if you should steal Prince Magnus's gold when the opportunity arises, which amounts to 750 gold pieces, you face the terrible consequence of never being able to become a champion. So, the choice is 750 quid or absolutely nothing. You do the maths. Incidentally, the idea of champions feels to me like the remnants of what might have been some kind of rudimentary levelling up system, a way for heroes to improve without relying on equipment, which was excised over time in order to keep the game streamlined. If Hasbro ever wanted to go down the route of a more complex levelling system, something like this might be the way to go, only with heroes gaining a skill for completion of a certain number of quests or a full campaign, rather than gaining money and a worthless title. Number 7. A cozy nook. So many of these dank underground dungeons you explore have fireplaces. How is the smoke getting out? Do chimneys pop out above ground level like it's some kind of Teletubby land? A fireplace is fine in those missions where you are exploring a castle or fortress, but why would anyone try to heat a network of underground tunnels and caverns? There are even fireplaces in the Frozen Horror's lair. And who the heck is putting up a picture of what I assume must be the Emperor over the mantelpiece? Is that for throwing darts at? I guess some of the orcs and goblins wanted to make the place cozy so they could curl up with a book. They must all read because there are so many darn bookcases scattered around the place. Number 8. A very forgetful wizard. Fun fact, in the original European version of the game, there were no chaos spells. So, what do you do when the main enemy in a dungeon is a fire mage with access to powerful fire magic? You take the spells away from the wizard, of course. Yes, for the original The Fire Mage quest, the heroes don't have access to any fire spells. While the elf gets 1 set of spells like normal, the wizard only gets 2 sets of spells. Guess he just left his spellbook at home that day. Also, special note, some viewers may recall the fire mage is supposed to be able to escape the heroes through the use of his magic. Because he doesn't have any kind of teleportation spell in the original game, he can just run through a wall when he feels like it. Why not? Number 9. The Old Ways. Fancy a little blast from the past? Check out the reverse of the quest book, which shows some of the glorious paintwork of Mike McVeigh. With practice, says the book, you too should be able to produce high quality painted miniatures like these. Yeah, 10-year-old me really thought that was possible. But just look at the techniques. 1. Undercoat. 2. Paint the basic colours. 3. Add black to your basic colours and paint it in the recesses. 4. Add white to your basic colours and paint it on the raised surfaces. 5. Paint the details with a small brush. Done. Sit back and marvel at your Mike McVeigh standard of painting. God bless Agrax Earthshade, that's all I'm saying. And number 10. Nothing. 1 card tucked away in the treasure deck was the bane of my childhood and summed up much of my adventuring career to this day. The Nothing card. A card with such a miserable piece of artwork it should come with its own sad trombone sound effect. There's only 1 in the deck, and it's just a little reminder that not every quest has a magic sword at the end of it. I do miss this card from Hasbro's new edition of the game, it always makes me smile. And that's it. 10 silly things that amuse me about one of the greatest dungeon crawlers of all time. Let me know which little details in the game always make you laugh or give you cause to raise an eyebrow, because that's it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider pressing the like button. If you really enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so. And hopefully, I will see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.